Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Was Blind, and it's an unscripted movie as well. So yeah guys, before continuing this, if you haven't then please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our story. Our story begins when Naruto was at the age of 3. His mother was pregnant as she was resting in the Namikaze Uzumaki household, as his brother and sister, which were twins, were about to be born. The news came earlier than expected when his mother visited the hospital a week back. Naruto was ecstatic the whole week for his siblings to be brought into this world. One night, Naruto woke up, as usual, just to drink water from downstairs. He was feeling thirsty in his sleep. As he drank a cup of water, he made his way towards upstairs. His room was in front of his parents, as he thought maybe he could go and greet his mother in the night. As he opened the door, his eyes widened in shock for what he saw. There, in front of his mother's bed, stood a man, an unknown man with a kunai in hand. He was about to slash the kunai at his mother's stomach. On instant, Naruto ran towards the kunai, and before he could say anything, he jumped, and the kunai slashed straight across his eyes as he yelled in pain. The man now knew that the house was alerted and jumped out of the window from which he came in and rushed outside, but the barrier seals were already activated as he couldn't get out, and his time was up. You see, how he got in was by deactivating a barrier seal for a moment of time, and his time was up thanks to the child that looked like the child of their mortal enemies. And before he could say anything, a yellow flash appeared behind him, slashing his neck completely off. And then a headband was revealed, as Minato gritted his teeth, Eva, as then he heard the screamings of his son as he rushed upstairs. And what he found shook him to the core. His son's eyes were bleeding out, as Kushina also had woken up from the sudden cry, startled, as what she saw also terrorized her and downward terrified her. In the ground lay her 3-year-old baby boy, Naruto, holding his eyes as he was bleeding. Minato, we have to take him to the hospital. Minato then said, you rest, I'm on it. Don't get out of the bed. Your delivery is tomorrow. As Minato rushed towards the hospital, where Tsunade was, as she was the godmother of the children. As after seeing Naruto's condition, she was quite shocked as she got immediately there to treat Naruto. After the treatment was done, Kushina came out at the hospital as well, as both of the parents asked, well Tsunade-sama, how is his condition? It's bad. His eyes, they're completely destroyed beyond repair. I cannot repair them. And his nerves are damaged as well, so there is no way we can transplant the eyes. The kunai went too deep, but luckily enough, not deep enough to harm the brain. He is perfectly healthy and fine, except he can't see anymore. As Kushina started to cry, as Minato looked solemn at that. We will only hear about it when we see him getting up. After 2 days, Naruto got up, as he then said, I can't open my eyes. As he then looked at the bandage over his eyes. I see. Hope Bachan was able to fix my eyes, Naruto thought out loud. But unknown to him, there were many occupants in the room. His parents, his Nisan, Kakashi, and as well as his other big brother, Itachi, and his grandfather figure, Hiruzen Sarutobi as well. And his godfather and godmother were also there. Jiraiya had came back from his, research when he heard what happened to Naruto, as he had a solemn look on his face. Hey Gaki, look who got up. You've been sleeping for 2 days, you know. We got very worried about you. So, how are you feeling? Erosanin, you're back. Come on Gaki, stop with the name, said the old pervert when he face faulted down to the ground as everyone chuckled. Well, it was a good sign that Naruto was still being Naruto. But now it was time to break out the bad news. Hey, Bachan, when is this bandage going to come off of my eyes. It's getting irritated. I can't see you all. As everyone's breath hitched as she continued. Well, Naruto, it may not come off. Ever. Even if it did, you may not be able to see. What do you mean, Bachan? You see, from the attack 2 days ago in the night, you were slashed across eyes. Your eyes were destroyed. You cannot see, Naruto. Oh, Naruto said, as he had a sad look. As the mother had enough as she rushed towards Naruto and hugged him. I'm so sorry, Naruto. I should have been more aware. It's all because of me. No, Kachan. You were sleeping peacefully. And, hey, where are my siblings? I can feel them. They were born. They are at home with our shadow clones. I see. I was hoping I could meet them. But I guess I will never see them, huh? As Naruto then started to cry. As everyone who was there saw Naruto for the first time in his 3 years of life cry, as they were worried and sad about his condition. And the word broke out in Konoha that the firstborn of Hokage was turned blind by an Eva attacker, and Eva had paid dearly for that. After the evidence all pointed towards Eva, Konoha threatened Eva for war if they ever tried to pull that again. But Minato wanted to go to war, but he was restrained by the elders, mainly Hiruzen, because Hiruzen didn't want to wage any war, and he, alongside Jiraiya, were able to convince him to stop. As Naruto, after 1 day more or so, came back to his house, but this time with a stick that Tsunade had developed during her previous years, staying there for those who couldn't see, mainly the Uchihas who overused Mangekyo Sharingan. As Naruto arrived back at his house, still adjusting to his new conditions, he held out his hands. Kachan, can I hold my siblings now? Yes. Here, you will first hold Menma. He's your little brother. I see. How does he look like? He has red hair, and he looks exactly like you, but with 2 whisker marks. I see. And what about Mito? Is that her name, right? Yes, her name is Mito. She has blonde hair, and her hair is like mine, and violet eyes. I see. They must be very beautiful, huh, Kachan? Yes, they are, Naruto. As Naruto was adjusting to his new life, time passed, as his parents were now worried. The Kyuubi was sealed inside Naruto before birth. I mean, the birth of his siblings. You see, the seal was about to be broken, and Naruto was the only child at the time that was born, so they used the 8 trigram seal on Naruto to seal the Kyuubi inside of him. Naruto came into encounter with Kyuubi when he was 2 years of age. Kurama saw no ill will towards a 2-year-old, even he knew that he was just a toddler. So, Kyuubi then just tried to scare him off, but unknown to him, and much to his surprise, Naruto just grinned and chuckled as he went through the seal, much to his surprise, and laid on Kurama's paw and said, "Fluffy," as Kurama's eyebrow rose. And then he just didn't bother. Naruto from then on still visited him regularly. And after a year or so when Naruto could speak properly, well, they came to name basis. Kurama told Naruto about his name and about his past. Naruto believed in him, but didn't tell his parents because he didn't want them to get worried or seal off his friend completely off. Kurama was happy about that. For the first time since he was sealed inside Mito Uzumaki, there was a first human who understood him. And ironically, it was a 3-year-old child, not a full-grown human. As Kurama was quite sad about Naruto's condition, what happened, and was trying his best to heal Naruto or his damaged eyes, but he couldn't. The nerves behind the eyeballs were destroyed as well by the slash. The kunai went too deep, even for the great Kyuubi no Kitsune to be unable to heal. He was sad. As Naruto slept, after returning home that night, he woke up in the mindscape. He still couldn't see, Where am I? You're in the mindscape, kid. Ah, Kurama. It's so nice to hear your voice again. I could have seen you, but you see, I can't see anymore. Naruto said with a chuckle, trying to ease the mood. Stop with the petty jokes, kid. Come over here. Can't see, just follow my voice. As Naruto followed Kurama's voice, and after a lot of failures, he finally found his way. After what seemed like hours, finally you're here, kid. As Naruto then said, hey, I'm blind, I can't see. So yeah, I can't, well, you know. Yeah, I get it, kid. Just shut up and sit down. Okay, fine. Why did you call me here? Well, kid, I tried to repair your eyes on my own. Turns out I can't. The nerves are damaged. Well, I know about that. Just like that? You're not going to overact or yell at me? Why would I? You're my friend and you tried to help me. For that I am thankful. What else could you have done? Even Bacha couldn't heal my eyes. And she's the best medic in the world. Naruto said, smart kid. He thought to himself. Well, Gaki, if you can't see, how about you can hear everything? I can enhance your hearing, your danger sense. How so? Well, you see, I am the Nine Tails, and my, physical form is that of a fox, and we have very good hearing. We can hear from miles away. Or you can say me, the fox that is made out of chakra, can. And I can give you that power as well. It will help you in many situations in the future, like in danger or any other stuff. I know your life will not be normal as it was before, but you have to now make adjustments, Naruto. You have to adjust to your new conditions. I see. Thank you, Kurama. Thank you very much, friend. Well, it looks like it's already morning, Gaki. You should wake up. But I haven't been here for like an hour. Well, you wasted your whole time just getting here. Oi, I'm blind. So, let this slide, okay? Yeah, just go. Your otherwise parents might be worried. As on the outer world, Minato knocked on Naruto's door. Naruto, I'm coming in. As Minato went inside and saw that Naruto was still asleep, bandages covered his eyes. As he gently shook Naruto's shoulder. Naruto, wake up, it's time for breakfast. As Naruto waked up, hey To-chan. Oh Naruto, get down and yeah, your breakfast is prepared already. Why did you sleep in so late? Well, you're the one that usually comes to wake us up. Well, I was just tired. Minato then fell silent and sat down next to his son. Naruto, I know that you cannot see anymore and you have to adjust to your life. It's going to be hard and just remember this. We're always there for you. We love you and try to support you. Not only us, your siblings as well. Said another voice as Kushina came inside. I was getting worried. Why didn't you both come down? And well, I got upstairs and look what I found. As the family of Trio hugged. After that, I know I can always rely on you. But I want to be my own person, Naruto said, surprising both of them. I will train hard and heighten my senses. If one sense is closed, there are many other senses that I can enhance with chakra that will help me. As both of the parents smiled at that. What are you playing, Naruto? I think it's time I start training. But Naruto, what about... Kushina was reluctant to say. It's alright, Kachan. They're only eyes. A tool to see, visualize. I can't do that with my ears, with my sense and touch, with my chakra. As both Minato and Kushina's eyes widened, as Minato's headgear started to turn. Naruto, are you saying that? Yes, I want to learn taijutsu. And not only that, kinjutsu as well. I want to be the first ninja that is an S rank. And much stronger than you, even with being blind. You better believe it, Naruto said, in his usual cheerful self, as both Minato and Kushina looked at their son's determination with pride, as they said, we'll help you along the way. But I can't train you, Naruto. Yeah, I know you're the Hokage, but who can I come to train? Kakashi is always busy. Hmm, well, Naruto, I think I found the guy you need. As Kushina said, no, not him. Anyone but him. I don't want his, habits to be applied to my son. You know, Kushina, he's the best taijutsu master here. Ah, you mean the Kona's green beast? My guy? Yes, Naruto. But just promise me one thing. What? Don't inherit his youth of flames or stuff. It's quite, you know, irritating, Kushina said. I'll try, Kachan. I'll try. As after that evening, Naruto met with my guy. He was certainly an interesting character, always yelling about the youthful student he is about to receive, and his youthful Hokage should trust his youthful son to him, and he will brighten his flames of youth. It was so much use of youth that Naruto was quite shaken up. But from then on, Naruto started to train in taijutsu and physical enhancement training. At the time, Might Guy got his team as well, his first Genin team, which were none other than Neji Hyuga, Rock Lee, and Tenten, as they were quite surprised as well to see Naruto. He was blind, and at first Neji was quite surprised by this and told him that it was only futile to desire what you cannot be, but he was surprised when Naruto beat him in a taijutsu battle, even with his Byakugan on and him being blind. As after that, Naruto told him that it wasn't fate, or it wasn't that if he was blind he couldn't be what he wanted to be. He can be whatever he wants, even if it means the Hokage, even as being blind. Naruto told him, as the three Genins were surprised by the sudden performance. But now Tenten and Rock Lee knew that Neji was the Rookie of the Year, and Naruto beating him was something else in a sense. As Tenten and Rock Lee were quite motivated by this, because Neji was, always on about fate and how they were failure, and seeing that a blind guy just beat the shit out of him with his pride dojutsu being on was something refreshing, and not only that, motivating as well. Mainly Rock Lee, who was the dead last in his year. On the other side, in a Shinobi Academy, his both siblings were in the second last year. His mother was training both of them in their style. Naruto also sometimes trained with them, but he was mainly trained under Might Guy as well as tutelage of none other than Jiraiya, the Toad Sage. He was teaching Naruto Senjutsu Chakra as well as many other stuff regarding the Toad summoning and Toad's battle strategies as well as Fuinjutsu. Jiraiya knew that Naruto needed this more than anyone as of now, and in the future he has, investigated the new group that emerged out of nowhere, an Astra group, Akatsuki. His mole Itachi was in there, who defected the village north after killing his clan, but at the, thought of being framed by Danzo that he killed Shisui, his close friends. His clan was after him now as well. His parents were quite surprised by this, but angry at him as well. They wanted him to be dragged back and pay for his, crimes. As for Sasuke, he was hell-bent on bringing, Itachi back for what he did. But not that broody and all. As for Menma and Mito, they were quite arrogant, but in front of their Nissan, they were just happy. They only showed arrogance in front of others, not to their family. Naruto was quite sad about this and tried to change their perspective, but knew he couldn't, no matter how hard he tried. His both siblings were just, overprotective of him. They wouldn't even let him do any of his stuff. Mainly Mito. She will always ramble on and on about how Nissan shouldn't do this, it is dangerous and that and that. It was only annoying for him, but he wouldn't have it any other way. It was in his nature. He had a loving family, so what could he ask for more? On the other side, he was getting stronger as well. As after one day of training with Jiraiya, it was only evening as Naruto was about to return home after wrapping up everything. Naruto, can I talk to you for a bit? Yeah, what is it, Arasanin? Can you just let go of the name, please? No, when you let go of your, research, think about it. Ah, you and me both know, kid, even if I did that and burned my books in front of you and danced in circle, you still will call me your sonin. You got that right, old man. So, what is it you want to talk about? As he got serious. Naruto, you see, there might be a threat looming over your head. Huh? What kind of threat? Is it Eva? Suna? What kind? No, none of them, Naruto. You see, they're after the Kyuubi. Who are? Akatsuki. Who's Akatsuki? Old man, come on, you're leaving me hanging. And it's quite irritating. Let me just finish, Kaki. I didn't even talk about this to your father. I'm telling you this first. I see. You see, the Akatsuki. They're an S-rank group of missing nins from all over the elemental nations, gathered from different villages, joining together. And their mission is to gather all 9 Bijus. For God knows what. As the Kyuubi's eyes wide. No, they cannot be thinking about that. Do they have any Rinnegan user? Ask him, Naruto. I guess I'll ask. Do they have any of the Rinnegan users? Yes. It comes to my knowing that it is none other than my student, Nagato. He had the Rinnegan, you see, and he is their leader. Or, as Itachi told me, fake leader. Wait, Itachi? As in Itachi Ni, who, left the village, or defected the village after he murdered Shisui Ni-san? How come you're still in, relation with him? He murdered Shisui Ni in cold blood. You see, Naruto, there's more to than meets the eye. Sorry about that, phrase, but it is the only one suited here. Yeah, no offense. Just continue on with your ramble. Oh, Igaki, it's not ramble, it's facts. You see, someone ordered him to do this, or someone fabricated the whole evidence. Itachi didn't do anything. Wanna know why? Because Itachi was with me when that happened. He returned with me from a mission at the time Shisui was injured. And when he met Shisui, he was already dying. And hence, he was framed. Oh my god, then someone has framed him. But who? Who else than Danzo? Danzo? As Elder Danzo Shimura from the council. Yes. Hey, isn't he the guy who had the root Anbu operating in the Second Great Shinobi War? Yes. Do you think Arasanin he still operates them? Maybe. We haven't found any solid guess, but I think he is operating. Unknown to them, there was a shinobi hidden amongst the trees as he sunshined away, appearing in front of a man who was sitting beneath the council chambers and the Hokage Tower. Report. Well, it seems the kid has figured out, alongside Jiraiya, that you were the one involved in Shisui's murder and Itachi being framed. The kid is smart. It's a shame that he won't be able to live to tell the tale. I will, extract the 9 tails out of the seal, and when that happens, seal them in one of my own. And the 9 tails will be my weapon then. And I will overthrow Minato's government, and I will rule Konoha as mine. The village will rise to the top yet again, he said with a smirk, as he didn't know that the root Anbu has a mole of its own from Minato, who was none other than Sai. Oh no, I have to inform this to Minato-sama, thought Sai, as after leaving that night, he arrived in Uzumaki Namikaze compound. But it seems it was already too late. Naruto was taken, as he then rushed towards the Hokage Tower, where Minato was. Hokage-sama, it's emergency. What is it, Sai? Danzo knew that Jiraiya and Naruto figured out who was behind Shisui's attack, and he has taken Naruto captive. He's going to extract the 9 tails out of him and reseal it into his one of own. And not only that, he's going to overthrow your government and all. What? He took away my son? Yes, I rushed towards your house to see Naruto, but couldn't find him there. Oh no, where's Kushina? I will alert her. You go after Danzo. He's beneath the council chambers. You mean he's behind all of the dirty work and is right under our noses? Literally? Yes. Damn it. Anbu, as his Anbu arrived. Some of you go with Sai, rest of you with me. It's time we take out Danzo for what he's about to do. Sensei, I want to go with you, said Kakashi. More than welcome to Kakashi. As then along the way, they found a limping giraffe. Minato, it's Naruto. He's taken by Anbu. They're rude. They're taking him somewhere, I don't know. Hurry, Jiraiya said. As then Minato knew that Naruto was in danger and called an Anbu for Tsunade. As Tsunade and Kushina arrived, they were surprised. Naruto is in danger. Take care of Jiraiya here. He will inform me when he wakes up. Anbu, with me. As Kushina was now getting worried, and so was Tsunade. After what seemed like a year, Minato was able to trace Naruto where he was. It was an altar far away in the village. Naruto was laying there unconscious, brutally beaten. As a seal master, it seems, was tinkering with the seal. As the seal opened, as a Kyuubi head materialized above Naruto, as everyone backed away. You will not have my power. Not you. As then Danzo said, we'll see about that. He said as he unrevealed his bandaged eye to reveal a Sharingan. Koto Matsu, before he could finish, a kunai was stabbed into his head. A three-pronged kunai. As Danzo laid on the floor, dead. Minato arrived there with a yellow flash as everyone else took out the Anbu that was there. The root Anbu. As he looked towards Kyuubi. Kyuubi, what have you done to my son? I didn't do anything. I'm protecting him and healing his wounds. Ironically, he's the first human who ever understood me. What do you mean? You see, when he was 2 years of age, he came inside his own mindscape. I don't know how, nor did he. As he then came in front of me, I tried to scare him off, but he was an odd child. He went through the seal. Minato's breath hitched after hearing that, and so the Anbu, and literally hugged my paw and fell asleep there. It was quite, well, you see, honestly, irritating at first, but then he kinda grew on me. And I think of him as my own kid now, as well. You don't have to worry about your son, Minato. He is completely fine, and I'm not going anywhere, even without the seal. I know that Gaki will die, and I'll be damned if I do that, or let that happen. As Kyuubi's head disappeared, back from it came. As Minato checked the seal, there was no seal, yet the Kyuubi remained inside Naruto. Have they synchronized? It can't be. I thought the Kyuubi might. As then, he took Naruto, after shaking his head out with thoughts, and rushed towards the hospital. After arriving there what seemed like minutes later, he laid Naruto on the bed as Tsunade and Kushina rushed inside after treating Jiraiya. As after examining him and healing his wounds and patching him up, they waited. After an hour or so, Naruto woke up. As he said, "Ow, that hurts a lot." Phew, thank God I survived that. As then he was cloned by two missiles, one red and one blonde. As both of them yelled, "Naruto-ni, are you okay?" As Naruto chuckled and tapped their back. "I'm alright, Menma, Mito. How are both of you?" We're fine. We heard you got hurt bad. Is everything alright? Are you feeling ill or something? No, I just got into a little bit of trouble, that's all. I'm fine, you don't have to worry about me. As both of them smiled and hugged him some more. As he then said, "Is Arasanin okay?" "Yeah, Gaki, better than ever." As Naruto then said, "Oh, thank God. Hey, what do you mean? I'm the Sanin, kid. You don't have to worry about me." "Yeah? Well, you were the one who got distracted by the root agent female that, well, kinda distracted you," as everyone rushed their gazes towards Jiraiya, who grew, well, smaller under their hard gazes. As then Hiruzen said, "Sometimes I hate you so much, Jiraiya, and your antics. How could you be fooled by a, well, agent, and a female one? You see, she was quite inviting and I'm sorry." as Kushina and Tsunade walked towards him and bonked his head, causing two, wounds to appear on his head in circle, as he cried anime tears as everyone chuckled. After that, time went by and it was finally time for Kakashi to get Team 7, which was none other than Menma, Mito, and Sasuke. The news about Danzo being the one behind Shisui's death was revealed to the whole Uchiha clan, and he was hell-bent on bringing his brother back, as was the whole village. They had damned an Uchiha who was an innocent, and the Uchiha, that needed to be brought back to the village. As both Mikoto and Fugaku were sad about that, and Mikoto cried as well, alongside Sasuke. On to the other side, Naruto was still not a genin or shinobi of the village, but was being trained and treated like one. As then we see Naruto and Jiraiya standing in front of Minato in his office. Still don't know why I'm here though. If you wanted to talk with Dad, you could have come here by yourself, Arasan. It involves you, Gaki, as you already know that you're under threat. What kind of threat, Jiraiya? Sensei? Well, you see, Gaki, I told Naruto over here about the threat before you. You could have told me first. He's still young, Dad. I am 15 already. As you can tell, I am a grown-up. But still, you're not a shinobi. You're a civilian, Naruto. That's what I want to change, said Jiraiya, cutting both of them in. What do you mean? Asked, Minato. Well, you see, Minato, I want him to become my apprentice and a Chunin. A Chunin? But he isn't even a genin yet. How come I can do that? Well, you and the whole council know about his escapades, and he can take care of himself. He battled against 10 to 15 Jonins worth of Anbu before he was skumped when they all rushed him together. I see. Well, Naruto, how about that? Would you like to become a shinobi of Konoha and a Chunin? I'll be proud to, Dad. As Minato handed him a Chunin vest and a headband, which Naruto wore with pride, on his clothes, which were black shirt and black trousers, with black shinobi sandals. As Naruto smiled, thanks, Dad, but he wore his headband not on his forehead, but over his eyes, which covered the scar that was left behind. As Jiraiya said, I want to take him out for 3 years worth of training trip, and along the way we will try to hunt down the safer ones in the Akatsuki to, damage them more and their forces, and for the future to lessen our threat. I see, but be careful out there. And yeah, Kushina might get pissed about this, so you better leave now, Naruto, otherwise she will not let you. And same could be said for Menma and Mito. Oh yeah, can I have a pen and a paper? I want to write something for them. As Naruto wrote down a letter for his mother and siblings. And aren't you going to write to me? Asked Naruto deadpan. Dad, you're sitting here in front of me. I can say whatever I want to you. Oh yeah, Minato said. I think I just got a little jealous. Nothing else. As Naruto chuckled. Just give this letter to them. And Dad, you are all my precious people. I will protect you, even if it means at the cost of my own life. I will get strong, and when I do, I will come back, stronger and a changed person. You don't have to change, Naruto. Just promise me you stay as you are. I'll try. It doesn't mean that I will turn into a bad person if I change, right? Well, you are going under Jiraiya Sensei, so he might try to turn you into a pervert. Just look out for that. Hey, I'm not that bad. As both the father and son looked at him with deadpan. Okay, fine, but I'm still not that bad. Yeah, right. Naruto said, we all know that you're much bad, even if you yourself admit to that. As Jiraiya grumbled about Gaki's and, how much they use their brain, this stuff and that. As Minato then said, after getting out of his seat and hugging Naruto, just remember, Naruto, we love you as well. And if you need our help, we're just a call away, he said as he slid in a seal of Raijin onto Naruto. Dad, you don't have to use the seal. I I got caught. But you know that I can't help but worry. Even if Jiraiya is being with you. Last time you were attacked by Anbus. They were a lot. They were in 200 or so, greater than in number. We were only two, Dad. This time I'll take care of myself, I promise. You better, young man. Well, off you go now, as both of them went away. As Minato then sighed, how am I going to tell this to the kids and Kushina? Oh boy, they're going to kill me. Realization dawned on him. I can't stop them now. I gave them the order and the green papers to go. Damn it, I didn't think this through. As in the evening he went home with the paper in his hand. As he entered, Kushina then said, Minato, have you seen Naruto? Yeah, Dad, we haven't seen Nissan. He usually comes back home in 2 p.m. around in the midday, but he didn't. Do you know where he is? Is he staying at his friend's house? You know that he doesn't have any friends out there. He just spends time with the family. Yeah, other than that, we play with Naruto whenever he's around. Well, you see, he might not be coming back for 3 or more so years. What? Every one of them said, what do you mean? Yeah, Dad, what do you mean? You do know that Naruto has to be home, otherwise he might get in trouble with his condition, Menma said. Well, you see, Menma, he and Jiraiya-sensei are off to a training trip for 3 years. You, let my son go with that pervert outside this village for 3 years, unnoticed by anyone. Yes? And didn't even tell us. Oh, the audacity of this man and that old pervert. Both of you will get it at the time, but you will get it first. He will get it when he comes back, Kushina said as she slapped her fist across her other hand as her hair started to, well, fly in the air as Nine Tails swung behind her. As her features grew dark, on the other side Mito followed her example as Menma's eyes grew cold. Dad, how could you? You know it was an important family matter. Yeah, Dad, said Menma, cutting Mito off. You know family above everything else. Wait, he left a letter. He knew that you couldn't or wouldn't let him go, so he left a letter. And it was all planned by Jiraiya, so yeah, take your shit on him, not on me. Fine, you're off the hook. At least you delivered the letter, said none other than Kushina, as Jiraiya felt a shiver down his spine, as 2 down away from Konoha. What is it, Irasani? Nothing. I just felt a disturbance in air, and that my life might be threatened whenever I return to the village. As Naruto chuckled, you're just thinking too much, Irasani. Just relax and sleep for now. We'll start training from tomorrow onwards. Back in the village, mother and siblings cry after reading their letter. We as well, Naruto. We promise that we'll become strong, so you don't have to bear the burden all by yourself on your shoulders, said Menma as Mito nodded. How about we start training both of you? I have already given Naruto some of my scrolls to learn. You don't want to be left behind by him, do you? Nah, we'll catch up to him. Let's begin our training from tomorrow, Dad. As time passed, like wind passing through the air. Many things happened when Naruto was away. Chunin exams came and Naruto heard that Konoha was in danger but overcame it, as Suna and Orochimaru tried to overthrow Konoha, but he was taken care of and was captured by his father. As for Suna, they flew away when they heard that Orochimaru was captured, and Orochimaru's chakra was completely sealed off by Hiruzen and Minato himself. Kushina being there was a plus because she was the greater seal master out of all of them. And after clarifying that his chakra was completely sealed off, they moved on to what to do with Suna's captives that they held, and a new treaty was formed between Konoha and Suna, and everything went back to normal after that. Naruto was quite happy and satisfied to hear that his family was safe alongside his village, as he was busy training with himself as well. Now, Gaki, focus. Both of them were in Mount Miyoboku, training to complete their sage mode, as Jiraiya and Naruto were sitting under a waterfall, as Fukusaka was there with Well, staff, wooden staff, and so was Shima. Shima was dealing with Jiraiya, who lost concentration once in a while. As for Naruto, he was still, as orange pigments appeared on his eyes. Before Naruto opened his eyes, as they had changed into toad-like, golden. I can see. Ursanin, I can see now. It seems the Senjutsu has repaired your eyes. Try deactivating it. As Naruto deactivated the dojutsu, his eyes were there, but he couldn't see. I can't see anymore. It seems you can only see through the Senjutsu chakra, the nature chakra. I guess. Well, it's better than nothing, right? As Fukusaka smiled at that. As then he heard a toad coming by. Fukusaka-sama. Kamamaru-sama wants to meet the kid and Jiraiya. I see. Well, Gaki, you and Jiraiya boy are to meet with Kamamaru-sama. Really, that old fart wants to talk with Jiraiya boy now? Yes, honey, we have to go. As both of them went with Jiraiya and Naruto there. As Kamamaru was asleep. Oi, you old fart, wake up, why have you called us here? Shima said after losing her patience for just standing there for what seemed like half an hour. Huh? What? It seems Jiraiya and Naruto are here. Yes, Kamamaru-sama, what do you want to talk about? You, my boy. I want you to have this. As he handed him a black staff with 8 black rings in them. What is this? It's the staff of the Sage of the 6 Spots. As Naruto's eyes widened, and so did Jiraiya's and everyone else. I can't accept this. I'm honored, but I can't. Why? Kamamaru asked with a mirth in his eye. It's the weapon of the Sage of the 6th Spot that he wielded. I cannot. I am honored that you see me as worthy of it, but I cannot taint it with my presence. As Kamamaru chuckled, that is why you are more than worthy of it, said another voice, as a portal opened and a man appeared, who had a pale skin and 2 horns, white hair, and Rinnegan for eyes, and the 3rd eye in the middle of his forehead. You see, Naruto, you are not only the reincarnation of both of my sons, but of me as well. You have the complete ninju. In order to say you're an Otsutsuki, yes, you are. You are a complete one, not a halfling like us, or my sons. You see, they had quarter of Otsutsuki blood in them, as I had half. Their quarter and quarter made half, and my half combined. You're a full Otsutsuki. You can rival even the king if you want to. But I suggest you don't. Yes. If they try to hurt my precious people, then I will fight. That, my boy, I know. But I want you to train in Iwagakure. Why? They kind of hate my guts. Are you sure you don't hold hatred for what the ninja do to you? No. I don't hold hatred towards Iwa as a whole. I only held hatred for the man, but he was taken care of by my father. So, in a sense, my father got my revenge. And even if he was alive, I was going to forgive him for what he did. Because when I lost my eyes, he taught me a lesson. That whatever we are given can be taken away easily unless we protect it and not get arrogant. As everyone smiled at that. It was huge words coming out of a young teenager at such a young age. You, my boy, continue to impress me. That is why I have chosen you. You see, in Iwagakure there is a cave which used to be my, resting place. I want you to go there and train, as did I, and learn your powers. After completely mastering it, you can return back to your village. Who knows, maybe you'll find your life partner there as well, said the old man, the last part to himself. Did you say anything, Sei-sama? Nothing, my boy. And I will give you this gift, said Hagoromo as both of his eyes covered Naruto's eyes. As when he opened his eyes, they were Rinnegans with tomos in them. As he then tapped the middle of his forehead, as the 3rd eye opened, it was red one. You see, Naruto, you can close the 3rd eye whenever you want. And your Rinnegan is much more stronger than of your students, Jiraiya. Nagato's, yes. Naruto is strongest wielder of Rinnegan in this world now, and he has to master his powers. But Naruto, I will warn you one thing. Don't let the power get to your head and turn you into an arrogant man that my son Indra was. His soul is still inside of you, and he will try every way to overpower you with hatred. Don't let it get to your head, otherwise you will face many consequences. As Naruto nodded, you better believe it, said Sama. I won't become overcome with hatred, even if it's the last thing I do. And what if you did? As he smirked, I have a plan. What? As he looked towards Jiraiya. No, I can't. I know what you're thinking. I won't. Your mother and father will kill me. Yes, that. No, they will die before they ever think of that. You know that, Gaki. Well then, I guess I'll have to use this seal. What is this? As Naruto slapped a hand on his heart, as the seal glowed. Whenever I turn dark or hatred consume me, the seal will activate and stop my heart. As Jiraiya's eyes widened, as the sage then said, you don't have to be so tense, but I guess it will be okay. As everyone nodded in approval, but unknown to everyone, the sage took the seal away, leaving only the markings there, meaning the seal will not activate. It was nothing but a diversion for Naruto, just so he couldn't turn to the dark side. As for Naruto, he thought that the seal was real and it will activate if he ever turned to the dark side, and he was happy about it. He wouldn't harm anyone with his powers, even his enemies. As then Naruto and Jiraiya departed from the Mount Miyaboku, fighting alongside the Akatsuki with Naruto's new powers and learning along the way. The Akatsuki was already down by 4 numbers, leaving only Tobi, Hidan, and Kisame, and Nagato and Konan. The rest of the others were dead. Zetsu was killed off by Naruto because of Kurama telling him that he was the reason why the Akatsuki was formed. Now the original counterpart and the, main villain was gone. The fake leader was left. As per Itachi's report, Itachi was back safely inside Konoha after his dead body was delivered to Akatsuki. And the Akatsuki left his dead body to rot there, and it was confiscated by Anbu by Konoha as per they watched. They were obviously going to burn his body and form a grave of a traitor in Uchiha compound, but unknown to them, it was only a blood clone. The real Itachi was alive and safely back home with his family. As then, Pain sat far away Namegakure with his rest of the Akatsuki left. We are about to launch an attack on Konoha. We haven't gathered any Biju. How come we can go and just launch an attack on Konoha? You know the Bijus have to be gathered in sequence. Yes, but it is the only way. We will gather the 90s and put it somewhere sealed until we gather the next ones. The Jinchuriki is getting stronger and getting on my nerves. It is said that he has Rinnegan. Konan said cutting him in. That is what I fear. He also has the same power as I do, but he cannot control it much better than me, and that is what I am going to aim. Aim where it hurts. Pain said. On to the other side in Iwagakure. Naruto training was complete, and as he woke up from his bed, from a well-rested night, after completing his training, final day, as he felt a burden on his chest, as he looked down and smiled. It was a mop of black hair, as Pink Eyes opened and looked up at him. Hey honey. Hey Kurosaki, how are you feeling? I'm feeling fine. Well, how did this happen? Well, you see, when Naruto and Jiraiya arrived there, Kurosaki was the one who charged at Naruto, after figuring out that he was the son of the Yellow Flash, who got, blind. But turns out he wasn't blind, he held a Rinnegan. Oniki knew about the legendary dojutsu but didn't mind attacking him. Naruto didn't hurt any of them but knocked them out, and then talked with Oniki. After, talking back and forth and delivering insults, mainly by Oniki's sides, to see how Naruto reacts, Naruto reacted calmly and respectfully. Oniki was surprised by this and think that it was a trick by Konoha, but he was surprised when Naruto offered to revive them all and told them where their bodies were, and Oniki showed them the graveside. Naruto, with the help of Kurama, with huge chunk of chakra, revived everyone there. Everyone was surprised as Oniki then looked towards him. You really did this? Yes, I told you I will. As Kuratsuchi was happy to see her mother, as Oniki was seeing his daughter-in-law as well. And everyone was surprised. His grandson, who died of illness, was also alive. Kinshichi, he said. Grandpa? Is that you? As he rushed towards his grandfather and hugged him, as Oniki shed a tear. As he saw Kuratsuchi looking at him and confused, Is that my Nissan? Yes. You're little Kura? Oh my god, you have grown up, he said, as there was a heartful family reunion all over the place, and everyone saw Naruto with great respect in their eyes, as those who were revived also were thankful for Naruto for reviving them and letting them meet with their families. As then, Naruto reverted them to their original age, or at the age they were supposed to be in the current time, which their family a lot appreciated, and Oniki let green card for Naruto to visit whenever he wanted in Iwagakure, and sent an formal alliance note to Konoha, and surprisingly to the rest of the elemental nations. Iwa and Konoha, two mortal enemies, were now allies with each other. It was a disturbing news for Kumo and Kiri, but good news for Konoha, Suna, and Iwa. The two villages formed an alliance between each other before forming an alliance with the rest of the village as well, because they didn't want to be the only ones to be overpowered by the rest of the villages. They didn't know why they formed alliance with the three next, until it was time for Hokage's summit, which was when Naruto was going to meet his family alongside with his fiancée. During those years, Naruto, was the quiet interest in Kuratsuchi's eyes, and, she followed him around, and Naruto offered to train her, and both of them started to train and became training partners and best of friends. And one step led to another, and the next thing they knew, they were engaged. And Kuratsuchi was quite honestly happy about this, and so was Naruto. And everyone in Iwa was also happy as well, and threatened Naruto if he ever broke her heart, there will be hell to pay for him, because they will not be coming after Konoha, but for his head. As Naruto's sweat dropped and nodded at that. After that, they were getting prepared to meet at the Land of Iron, where his family will be present as well. As after traveling for a week with his fiancée and his sensei, they met at Land of Iron. As Naruto walked inside, alongside with Iwa representatives, Konoha was happy to see their son there, but were surprised to see how much he has grown up over the years, as both Menma and Mito rushed towards their older sibling and hugged him. Naruto-ni, thank God you're fine, and started to yell at him how it was irresponsible of him to leave them without saying goodbye. But Naruto told them that he left the letter, and they said that it doesn't make any sense. The letter was just a note. They wanted to hug their brother one last time. Naruto reassured them that he wasn't going anywhere else, as he got bonked on the head by his mother, and then hugged. Baka. As Kushina then cried and met her son, as Naruto was happy as well. His father was proud of his son as well. As everyone, after greeting everyone, they sat down, as everyone looked towards Naruto. So son, what is it? You were the one who called us here. I am sorry to say this, but we have many important things to do, said Mei. I know Mei-sama, but it is of urgent news. You see, Akatsuki, the group of mercenaries made out of S-rank missing nins from all over elemental nations. They are after the 9 Bijus. How can we know you're saying the truth? I knew you were going to say this, as Naruto's eyes, Rinnegan once turned red with slit ones, as his whisker marks grew darker. Hello, Ningens, as everyone was now in a defensive state. As then Mei asked, who are you? Why, I'm the Kyuubi no Kitsune, as everyone was now more tense. As they saw Hokage come. What is going on, Minato? Oniki asked. Well, just listen to him, he will explain. Those damn Ningans are going to gather the 9-tail Bijus and, well, revive the 10 tails. There is no 10 tails. There is. And it was distributed and made into our 9 Bijus, as you know of us, by none other than the Sage of the 6 Paths. And if the 10 tails is formed and any one of the Rinnegan wielders become a Jinchuriki, he will have the power of the Sage of the 6 Paths. And he can destroy the world and take away the chakra if he wants to. As everyone flinched after hearing that. I see. But how come we never heard any of the other Bijus talk? We all talk. To those humans who we seem worthy. And as for Naruto, he's more than worthy for me. He's the first human in 800 centuries who understood me. Ironically, for you all, he understood me more than well enough when he was 2 years old. You have all misunderstood us and thought of us as just weapons and your property when we are not. And you treat your Jinchurikis bad. And who are the fools here? Us or you? Who are the beasts here and the demons? Us and you. Laying those pitiful humans' life and burdening them with us, sealed inside of their guts and forever hating them for carrying us. Wow. You really are hypocrites. All of you are. As everyone flinched. Anyways, we're getting off topic. My dark hair is done, Naruto. As the red eyes turned back to Rinnegan. Well, now you know. Sorry about it. Kurama, he's just getting antsy that his siblings are being targeted like him. As Naruto apologized on behalf of his friend, as everyone else nodded. It's nothing. We were just surprised to hear. And honestly, it was quite disturbing to know that what he was saying was true, said Oniki, as everyone else nodded. So, what are we going to do? As Minato's steel flickered, oh no, Konoha, it's in trouble. As Naruto held on to his father, as did the rest of the family and Kages, as all of them flashed away in a yellow flash and arrived in Konohagakure. As they arrived, they saw a figure hovering above. Is that? Oh no, Naruto said as he slapped his hands together. Mokitan, wooden barrier! As a giant barrier made out of woods surrounded the whole village. As everyone was surprised by this, as the whole village turned dark from inside. As the force crushed against the wooden walls, shattering it completely. But the village was safe. As Naruto then said, breathing heavily, that took a lot out of me. I need some rest. And a chakra pill. Go on ahead and tackle them down. Destroy the healing pot first. It will heal the others. Which one is that? Jiraiya-sensei, activate your Dojutsu. The one with the more chakra in the ground is the one healing pot that heals the others. I see. Jiraiya activated his Senjutsu mode as everyone else got into fighting stance. As they rushed towards the remaining members of the Akatsuki, they were taken down as Naruto, after healing a bit, floated upwards after gaining his staff and his Rinnegan full in power as he got into the air, facing eye to eye with Nagato. Hello, cousin, said Nagato. Wait, what? Naruto said. Yes, you are an Uzumaki, right? And Uzumaki sees a whole clan as a family and relatives. So that is why I called you a cousin. Then why are you doing this? Well, you see, I lost someone close to mine as well that I considered family. I know how it feels. And for that you're going to destroy this whole world? No, I'm just going to cause peace in this whole nation that this world needs by taking away the chakra. Can't you see, cousin? We are what people call gods with this Rinnegan. We can stop everything, the fight, the conflicts. I have already did so. The villages are at peace. They have already formed an alliance. For how long? What? For how long, cousin? Tell me. 10 years? 5 years? 50 years? 100 years? At one time the alliance will break. And when that happens, they will go back to their ways. Just cause more war. You do know that there was a warring era even before the age of chakra. People will fight with each other either way. We cannot stop them. Even if we can, they will just find a loophole and a way to just take us down. You see, that's why I will rule them. After I become an immortal by gaining the 10 tails powers. No, Nagato. You are just going to be a tyrant who rules this land with iron fist. Then I guess there's no way of talking you out of it, said Nagato. Let's fight, cousin. Stop beating around the bush then. As both of them clashed with each other, jutsu after jutsu clashing with each other, as a fierce barrage of force invisible, not visible to eye, was seen, as every Uchiha and the rest of the shinobis down halted after seeing the two fight. As Naruto then said, "Come here," as two wooden hands got from off of the ground and jammed Nagato where he stood, or the tendo pod, as a giant figure appeared out of the ground, which caused everyone to guess. Sage arts! Wood style! Shinju Senju, as a giant wood figure of Buddha with 1,000 hands made into fist came down upon him as he was crushed to the ground. Sage arts! Rasen Shuriken, as a giant meteor-sized Rasen Shuriken was formed, as Nagato got up from the ground and rushed towards Naruto with a huge ball. Consumer, he said, as a giant meteor-sized ball crushed into the Rasen Shuriken, as a huge explosion was formed, so much that a tornado was created, with lightning inside of it, as Naruto took advantage of that. Gone with a thunderclap. Kirin, as a giant thunder dragon was formed, as it struck towards Nagato, destroying the Tendo completely, as Naruto used his Senjutsu mode and found the real Konan and Nagato, as Naruto then said, after getting into Kurama Avatar state. Sage Arts. 3 meteor-sized Rasen Shurikens, elemental style, as 3 meteor-sized different elemental Rasen Shurikens was launched at it. As Nagato's tree was completely destroyed, alongside with Konan. As when Naruto arrived there, he couldn't sense their chakra, as then he was stabbed from behind after closing his eyes. Ugh, Naruto said as he gritted his teeth. Well, 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 you really are a pain in my neck, Naruto Uzumaki, said an orange moss figure, and a red eye glowing inside of him. So the real culprit were you, wasn't it? Yes, I was the one behind all the chaos. And you, my friend, have caused me enough loss. But I will be damned if you cause me any more. I will create a new team when the QB will reform, and I will be back stronger after your death. No one can stop me. My family will. You know that, Naruto said as a blood leaked out of his mouth, as a fist made out of rock smashed into Obito's skull as he was bleeding and passed out by that, with such force that it impacted his brain and caused damage to it. Obito was knocked out unconscious to the ground as many Anbus arrived there, as Naruto was kneeling down, as Kurotsuchi yanked the blade out. I think it's poisoned by the deadliest of them all, as Naruto slapped a chakra suppression seal on the masked figure behind head, as Naruto was carried back to the hospital, where he was treated by Tsunade. Naruto laid in coma for 6 months. When he woke up, he saw Kurotsuchi with red eyes and circles around it, sitting there, and his parents grew older as his siblings were also, well, quite grown up and tense like seasoned shinobi. What's going on? How long was I out? For 6 months, Naruto, said Kurotsuchi, and she kissed him and hugged him. As Naruto hugged her back, as everyone else was happy that Naruto was awake finally. As when Naruto was standing, as we see Naruto standing on top of the Hokage monument, as the whole village greeted them there. Our hero was revived. Everyone cheered on for Naruto, as Naruto smiled back and waved at them with a silly grin on his face. Time passed on, and Naruto and Kurotsuchi started their family. Menma and Hinata married, and Sasuke and Mito married as well. As Mito was trained by Tsunade and had bore the 100 healing marks, Menma became the next Yellow Flash, and Naruto was the second Rikoto no Sanin, known throughout the whole elemental nation, which was at peace now. As the dream of the first sage became true with the second being there, and the 9 beaches were released, all of them were, and were roaming freely among the elemental nations, going wherever their heart took them, as the world was finally at peace and protected by the eyes of the Otsuzukis. And gone was the threat known as Akatsuki. In short, the world was finally at peace, as this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as this is Apollo Uchiha and I'm signing out.